And so it all begins. That just doesn't sound right. I mean, I really should have dropped my voice a couple of octaves there, really breathed from the diaphragm and projected it out, cut my hand over my ear over like old time radio announcers, and so it all begins, something more dramatic. I don't know. It just didn't sound right. But it does begin tonight. 6 o'clock kickoff, Texas A&M and South Carolina, the start of the college football season. Do you realize 130 days of football awaits us? Yes, 130 days from today. That's when the Super Bowl is played. Let me take it out even further for you. 194 days from today, that's when you're going to have the men's championship Final Four game being played. So we've got over 6 months of action. And what's the key here, guys? Because all of you are betting football, the NFL and college football. 95% of you will stay right through the championship of the Final Four. And the key is to remember that this is a long journey. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. Nobody wins every single day. Anybody that claims they win every single day in this business, they're full of it. And you know what that it is. That's the bottom line. Nobody wins every day. Winning days, losing days, but what you're looking for and what all of us as gamblers and as us as handicappers, guys that do this 365 days a year, guys who basically, you give up your life for the next 194 days minimum, as you're looking to make a profit over the long haul. You've got to realize that during those streaks, that when you're winning, you've got to take those opportunities to press. And you'll see handicappers, when they're on the roll, when they build up a bankroll, they'll go for bigger plays. They'll press the action. You've got to do that. That's how you take baby bankrolls and make them grow up big. And times you'll see also handicappers that are in ruts. And you've got to take a step back. And you've got to retreat and refocus and rebuild that bankroll until you're ready to get on another one of those rolls again. So again, it's a long journey here ahead of us. For those of you that took the summer off, God knows why. I never understand why people take the baseball season off when it's so easy to win money in baseball. But I know a lot of you out there are coming back today because you missed me. You missed me. I know you did. I mean, listen. It's okay to admit it. Now, my wife won't admit that. Matter of fact, I don't think she misses me at all. I'm in another state right now, and she's out gambling. So I don't think she misses me at all. But hey, at least I have you, and you have me. Okay, so we continue, but here's what's changed. At the end of the last football season, and I've told you this many times over the years, I've always been a strong proponent of the fact that I don't believe that you have to spend big money to make big money. As the football season progressed last year, I started to give you half-price play of the day releases. Well, after the football season concluded, and as we motored through basketball and continued through baseball, I expanded those offerings. There isn't a day that goes by that you won't find a half-price play, a $19 play, a $14 play, a $7.77 triple play, a $5 play of the day selection, the charity play of the week, where you get a free play from all the top handicappers, from all the hottest handicappers. Every day there are deals. And guys, you're always going to find them right here on the homepage of the site by 10 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday and Sunday morning, on Monday as well, and noon Eastern any other day of the week. So be patient when you come to the site first thing in the morning and you don't see all the handicappers live. And remember, handicappers on football days, on the weekend, have their plays all available to you by 10 a.m. Eastern. On Mondays by 10 a.m. Eastern. Any other day they have until 2 p.m. Eastern time, okay? But I've got to wait for the handicappers to update their sites, and then I can go ahead and find the plays and put the coupons out there. You will always find discounts. You will always find them here every single day at the site because, again, you don't have to spend big money to make big money. Now, there are the dinosaur handicappers out there, the charlatans, the 800 salesmen who tell you that everything's absolutely free until you call that 800 number. And you find out there is nothing that's absolutely free. Listen, if those guys tell you the sky is blue, make sure you look up twice to confirm, okay? Those guys, they believe in raping you. I mean, listen, I know how that game runs. There's nothing I haven't seen in 25 years in this business. The game is run this way. They try to get you in with the free offer. Well, the free offer ultimately turns into a $250 to $350 package, and their whole idea is to bring you up that escalator, stepping you up. Game after game, package after package, some of them robbing you for $4,000 or $5,000 a game. I know most of you out there think that's unbelievable, that customers, that gamblers would be that big of a sucker, but that's what they prey on. There are gamblers that actually fall for that. I mean, there's gamblers that fall for these 800 scamdecappers who tell you that they have inside information or they need another $500 because they've got to go buy more information on the NFL this weekend to get you winners. And there's people out there that fall for it. What is it? W.C. Fields once said, a sucker is born every minute. I guess that is true in every business and every walk of life. I just never have understood how I can tell you day after day that these things are just sales techniques. It's all marketing. It's all BS and hype. And it's totally false. And yet people still fall for it. I don't know. It's a strange, strange business. I've seen it all, as I said, in 25 years. Anyway, guys, listen, let me run down who's hot and who's not. And I've got 3 free selections coming up. Going to take a look at the game between Washington State and Rutgers, Temple and Vanderbilt, and the first game on the college card this season, your South Carolina-Texas A&M game. But today, the half-price play of the day, turning to Scott Delaney. 100-dime opening college game of the year, number 9 out of 12. He is a charter member of the site, as am I. You know, Scott and I are very close. We're like this. But the fact is he wins, and that's the bottom line. I'd work with the devil as long as he wins, and he wins. And, hey, the fact is I'm joking. I mean, we're not tight, but, hey, that's life. As long as he makes you money and he is a strong contributor at the site, God bless him. So that's the nicest thing I'll say about Scott Delaney, probably the entire football season, so you better get this on tape, guys, okay? And Scott, if you're watching it, you better understand that as well. But here's the deal. 100-dime opening college game of the year. It's Wake Forest and UL Monroe. 64-36 with 100-dime releases in all sports over the past 4 years. $10 bettors, short term, up $4,300 the past 17 days. You get his 100-dime winner today to kick off the season for half price simply by using the coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. And remember, all these coupons are over on the home page. And to give you an example of how I give you the top handicappers at huge discounted prices, the hottest handicapper at this site over the past 2 months, no ifs, ands, or buts, it's Jeff Benton, okay? He's going for winning day number 24 out of 30 today. He's got 50-dime winner number 12 out of 15. It's his non-conference total lock of the year, Rutgers, Washington State, the over-under. You've got an 18 winners from Jeff over the past month. And he's won 24 out of 30 days, right? You've got an 18 of those winners at huge discounted prices, including his first ever 200-dime play ever in any sport on Saturday, and his 75-dime baseball winner last night on the Braves. $10 bettors have won $20,550 since April following his betting strategy. And today you get his play at a savings of $85 for only $14 by using coupon code JEFF. 14. Again, the other coupons are over on the homepage. You can check them all out here. A couple other handicappers you should be aware of. Brian Rosica coming off a 2-0 sweep with 50-dime NFL grinders last week in preseason play. The Bengals outright on Sunday at Arizona. And Saturday night Dallas in the first half getting the win and cover at Miami. First ever 75-dime college banger. That's what he has going tonight on Tulane and Tulsa. That's a big play going out there. Trace Adams. We call him the Thursday Night King for a good reason. 72-50 Thursday night run since the 2007 season. Normally, 1,000-star play is his top-rated selection. Today, raised the bar 1,500-star lead pipe lock, AAC. It's so funny saying that. You want to say ACC, but it's the American Athletic Conference. Game of the year, Tulane and Tulsa, 48-31 with those raised the bar 1,500-star lead pipe locks since the 2007 season. And dollar bettors are up a little over $9,900 since May, so certainly a nice run from him. So that's something that you should be aware of as well. And guys, you know, I am just thinking of something. And again, this is a live video report, and I'm looking over here at my computer here for a minute. Let me just tell you something here. And I will do this throughout the season as well. You may think it's crazy, but we're going to take a minute here because I'm curious to see if Brian Rosica and Trace Adams, who have big plays on Tulane and Tulsa, are on the same side this evening. So let me look that up for you, because obviously if you buy one, you don't need to buy both. And if you already have a package with one, you don't have to buy both if you have a package with Trace Adams, for example. So let me do you a solid here, and I'll do this throughout the season. Hopefully I'll do it before I do the video reports, so it'll save you a little time. But let me just look up at Trace Adams, and yes, they are on the same side of tonight's game, Tulsa and Tulane. They are on the same side of tonight's game, so something for you to be aware of. Okay, guys, let's get to your complimentary plays here tonight. Again, I've got 3 of those selections coming your way, and let's start with the last game on the board, and we'll do them in reverse chronological order. You've got Washington State taking on Rutgers. You know, when I think about Rutgers traveling out west, I think about that game in Fresno State last year when they went into overtime and it was a 52-51 finale. Fresno not covering but getting the win in OT, and Rutgers getting the cover as an 11-point dog. I look at Washington State here tonight, and listen, this is the third year of Mike Leach's air raid attack. Now, the game is being played not in Pullman tonight, but in Seattle at Quest Field, okay? So that definitely, although a home game, it's not really a home game. I mean, they've sold like 28,000 tickets, I think, for the contest. I discovered that when researching the game. The thing that I like about Washington State is they're going to throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball from the minute the opening kickoff right till the final gun sounds. They're always going to be in attack mode. Mike Leach is not a guy who is going to sit back and play it conservatively in the fourth quarter. He is not the Andy Reid of college football. You know what I mean? Hey, let's sit on that 6-point lead and never score another point and cost guys because of the backdoor covers. So laying only 8 points with Washington State in this game, I got to go with it because I like the Washington State offense. That's the bottom line. You've got a senior quarterback in Connor Halliday returning. He only threw for 4,500 yards last year with 34 touchdowns. Now the naysayers will say, okay, he had 22 interceptions. When you throw the ball 7,300 times in a season, you can afford to have 22 interceptions, okay? He's got his top 8 receivers back. You've got a Rutgers pass defense that last year couldn't stop me throwing the football, okay? Last year, Rutgers pass defense gave up 312 yards a game. They allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete almost 64% of their passes, okay? And they allowed 31 touchdowns and only came up with 8 interceptions. Can you say the word scorched about the Scarlet Knights secondary last year? Because that's the word that applies. So again, I think you got to lay the points with Washington State in this game at Seattle here this evening. Leach is 9-16 in his first 2 seasons, okay? But last year, the team started to make an improvement. They were 4-1 ATS as a favorite last year. I know Rutgers has a veteran quarterback coming back in Gary Nova, but he didn't exactly light the world on fire last year with 18 touchdown passes versus only 14 interceptions. They've got a veteran running back in Paul James, who averaged like 5.8 yards per carry. And they have a new offensive coordinator and a returning offensive line with 5 starters. So they will put points on the board. But I think Washington State will put more on the board and get the cover. Your next free pick, I'm going to go with the Temple Owls, my alma mater, because if I bet on them, I guarantee you I lose this pick. Giving it away free, I probably win it. I'll take Temple plus the 13.5 points at Vandy. Listen, the Commodores are not the Commodores that James Franklin left before taking the job at Penn State. These are the Commodores with only 8 starters back. They have a new offense. Derek Mason, the former defense coordinator at Stanford, came to Nashville. He incorporated the West Coast offense. I don't know if they have the personnel to run it this early in the season, especially when you have a quarterback situation that's and your top receiver is now a second-round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles and Jordan Matthews, okay? And you've got a new offense. Now, Matt Rhule, second year for the Temple head coach. Temple last year, just a lousy season. But they were competitive down the stretch because once Matt Rhule put in the then freshman P.J. Walker quarterback, this team's fates and fortunes turned around. I mean, Walker passed for over 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, also a running threat for nearly 500 yards on the ground. They have a very strong veteran running back tandem with Kenny Harper and Zaire Williams, who combined to gain over 1,100 yards on the ground. Owls 5-0 ATS as a road dog last year. And listen, even though they went 2-9, I think it was 2-9 or 2-10 straight up last year. 5 of those games they lost by only a touchdown or less. They covered 7 of their last 8 last year. I mean, they covered against Notre Dame in their opener last year in South Bend, against Louisville, almost pulled the upset as a double-digit dog against Central Florida. They have an inexperienced offensive line, but I don't know if Vanderbilt is going to be able to take advantage of that fact. So I'm getting nearly 2 touchdowns. I got to go with the Owls in this one. Now, I think what the most interesting game tonight is actually the first game here, the 6 o'clock kickoff, the SEC starter between South Carolina and Texas A&M. Of course, Texas A&M is no more Johnny Manziel, no more Mike Evans as well. So they're going with the sophomore quarterback Kenny Hill. He was named the starter a couple weeks ago. 22 career passes for Hill. Kevin Sumlin, they're still going to have that high octane, score a bunch of points attack. The problem with Texas A&M is even with Manziel last year, they couldn't win enough games because they couldn't stop anybody. The worst defense in the SEC. 34.1 points a game yield. 475.8 yards per game yielded. 109th in the nation. I think there's only 122 Division 1A teams. Now, South Carolina's won 18 in a row straight up at home. Texas A&M 0-5 ATS outside of College Station last year. South Carolina has won 7 consecutive home openers straight up and gone 5-1 ATS in that stretch. Mike Davis, though, not 100% healthy as he's been bothered by some rib injuries, but I think the South Carolina running back should have some success success against the Texas A&M rushing defense that allowed 5.4 yards per carry a year ago and is no better this season. South Carolina has some issues, though, in areas of concern. Connor Shaw is no longer there. So you've got a quarterback who has played some because Shaw was often injured. That's fifth-year senior Dylan Thompson, who is going to be responsible for attacking that Texas A&M defense. You got a South Carolina defense that has a very strong front seven that will try to contain the Texas A&M ground game. You're looking at 11 points in this contest. I think the way to go in this game is to take the over and just skip the straight-up play. Go with the over. It's sitting at 61 points. I mean, I could easily see this game being one of those barn burner type of games, 37-31, 38-30. I don't see this being a 27-24 game. I think Texas A&M can hang with South Carolina here. I think that, if you wanted to play on the side, you'd go ahead and grab the 11 points. But I really believe the better play here is just take it over the 61 points. So South Carolina, Texas A&M over. That's one free pick. Another free pick is going to be Washington State minus the points and Seattle against Rutgers, and Temple plus the points at Vanderbilt. Those are your three freebies, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again on Friday when we do this one more time. Yes, we'll be doing this for 129 more days after today until the Super Bowl. I'll be here. Hope you are here as well. Take it easy.